nice of you to join me. I'm here to talk about fractions. Whether you're using a yardstick, a ruler, a tri-square, or a tape measure, I'd like to share with you some tips that might help you understand the fraction. One thing before we begin, it's really important to realize what is the numerator and what's the denominator. This is the denominator. The top number is the numerator. This top number will always be odd when you take a measurement, whether it's 3/4, 1/2, 7/8. The numerator is always going to be an odd number. The denominator will always be, with the fraction, always an even number. And today, we're going to be looking at fractions that range the 1/2. We're going to look at the 1/4 or quarters, eighths, and the 16ths. All right. Let's imagine that this is our inch, or we could say it's a piece of gum or a square pizza. We would say this is the starting point, 0. This is the end, or the 1-inch part. And if we were to draw the line all the way down, but yet not all the way down, this would represent 1/2. So this is the 1/2 inch point right here. So we have enough for Tom and Jerry, 2 people. Let's say it's Tom, Jerry, Sue, and Jeanette. Well, now we have 4 people, so we need to divide it into fourths. So we now have fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, this would be 1/4, 1/4, 2/4, or 1/2. This would be 3/4. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's say we have 8 people altogether that need to divide up this portion. So we will divide it into eighths. Please note that the eighth lines are even shorter than the 1/4-inch lines, and of course the 1/2-inch line. So we have 1/8, 3/8, 5/8, and 7/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 parts. Now, you might think, well, this is 1/8. This is 2/8. That's right, but 2/8 always reduces down to, well, 1/4. You could say that this half is really, you could say it's 4/8, which is correct, but we always want to present it in its lowest form, so that is 1/2. All right, we're almost done. Now we need the 16ths. 16ths lines will be even shorter, so that we can delineate or differentiate them from the other lines. So we have our 16ths right here. 1/16, 3/16, 5/16, 7/16. Of course, this could be 8/16, but once again, that's 1/2. 9/16, 11/16, 13/16, and last but not least, 15/16. So there we have the basics. Now let's do a little practice run. I put up the blank inch, and with some A through G, let's see if we can get these fractions. This first one, what do you think it might be? Well, if you said 1/8, you're right. Or maybe you said 2/16. Well, if you said 2/16, you're on the right track. That becomes 1/8. And that's the answer, 1/8. This one, 1/4, that's correct. But you could say it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4/16, which becomes 1/4. C, we all know that's 3/8 because it's 1, 2, 3/8. But you could also say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6/16 equals 3/8. All right, we're almost done. D, we know it's 1/2. We could say it's 1, 2, 3, 4/8, which is 1/2. We could also say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8/16, which becomes 1/2. There we go. We could even say it's 2/4, which is 1/2. E. Let's see what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11/16. Can that be reduced? No, so it's 11/16. F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13/16. Can that be reduced? Not that I'm aware of, so it is 13/16. And our last one, G. You're doing a great job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14/16 becomes 7/8. We could have also said how many eighths? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the eighths. 7/8.
When you're measuring with your ruler and material, it's really important that you have a sharp edge or a sharp point for your marking device. I think it's important probably each time to sharpen your pencil before you start a project where you need some accurate measurement. So you can see the orange pencil has a nice fine tip, a point that will give you an accurate measurement, whereas the green pencil has a blunted or dull tip and you'll get kind of a inaccurate measurement or not. Let's say that you want to measure a piece of material that is 4.5 inches long. Well, you'd want to make sure, first of all, that you have your ruler at the very starting line lined up with the edge of the material. Then come on out to your 4.5 mark. We put a nice little pencil mark right adjacent to 4.5. Then to ensure accuracy, we use the tri-square and we will have the blade and the base lining up with our mark, making sure that this is tight up against the edge of the material. Make sure our pencil mark right now lines up carefully with that mark we made. Mark a single line, and now we have the distance of 4.5 over here. One quick note is often when cutting on the material, if this is the material that you want to keep at 4.5 inches long, when you cut and line up your blade, it's going to make a kerf or a little channel from the thickness of the blade, depending on how thick your blade is, which could be anywhere, from 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch to 3/16. But regardless, you always want to have the blade on the outside of that line. You don't want to be on the line or inside. You want that cut, the sawdust, to be removed because it's going to take away that much material. If you cut right on the line, you're going to lose your accuracy and you're going to have an inaccurate cut. So always please cut with your blade on the outside mark.